Welcome to the future. PBS Digital.
Better buckle up. We're about to drive through 25 years of automotive history as we celebrate the silver anniversary of television's original automotive magazine, Motorweek. We'll cover 25 years of winners and losers in both car design and technology. Visit with our stealthy spy photographers and meet the hard-working folks that make Motorweek go. We'll see where we've been and where we're going. It's 25 years of Motorweek, so come drive with us next.
Motorweek, television's original automotive magazine. Brought to you by the Stanley Works, makers of MaxLife 369 tripod illumination tools. Stanley is proud to support public television. Stanley, make something great. Information available at www.stanleyworks.com. And by Dunlop Tires. The search for true performance is part of our heritage. Dunlop is proud to present the Dunlop Drivers' Cup, where amateurs from around the world compete head-to-head in on- and off-road competitions. Information at dunloptires.com. And by Cars.com.
Let's say you're looking for a car. Cars.com can help. Research, locate, even contact a dealer. Cars.com. Find the right car for you.
Your host for Motorweek, John Davis.
Hello and welcome again to Motorweek. We're glad to have you with us for this special program celebrating our 25 years on the air. You know, back in 1981 when we started, minivans were still a few years into the future, and modern crossover vehicles, well, they weren't even dreamed of yet. That first show was taped in this very studio at Maryland Public Television, and this remained our home for 6 years. So join me now for a drive back through time to the dying days of the big American land yacht and the start of the front-wheel drive revolution and a brand new television series, Motorweek.
Television's automotive magazine with your host, John Davis.
Welcome to Motorweek. I'm glad you're with us. This is a television series for people who love cars and for those of you who just like to find out a bit more about them. Each week, we'll have our own road test of new models. Our chief mechanic, Pat Goss, will tell us how to keep our cars in good repair. And Joyce Braga will give us a close look at other new products on the automotive scene. So let's get things moving now with our first Motorweek road test. Well, not exactly the first. The first test we did never actually aired. That was a head-to-head comparison of the front-wheel drive Chevy Citation and the old guard rear-drive Ford Fairmont done for our pilot episode in 1980. For our first broadcast, our studio cameras focused on the trend-setting new world car from Ford, the Escort. The original concept for the set was to bring the audience into some aspect of the automotive industry. So we made it look like a styling studio. We had mock-ups of cars, we had stuff on the wall, we had drafting tools. So when they were there, they knew they were in an automotive environment, but a different one than they had ever seen before on TV. We had less than 12 weeks to get that first show on the air, so the first challenge was finding the right people and fast. I knew everybody on the show was going to have to be a car enthusiast but do some TV technical work. So I looked out in the parking lot. I looked at what people drove. Based on that, Craig Singhaus was an easy choice. He was and still is a certified car nut and was driving a Shelby Mustang at the time. Joyce Braga, our first news reporter, also worked in the building. She had very little on-air experience, but she drove a Porsche 924, so I knew she had potential.
I'll take 2 of them. Thanks, Joyce.
And I've been talking about the concept for a long time, and so there was a pool of us that had been, chatting about it, and a lot of those folks just came on board right away because it was a chance to do something that nobody had ever done before. Those early shows were really a learning experience. We were all car enthusiasts, but had never actually tested a car before. While we didn't have a lot of money, we did have certain equipment. We had stopwatches. We had a great place to test cars in an old airport. So we knew the basics of how to lay out a slalom, how to do timed events, how to basically measure braking.
We'd read other people that had done it for a magazine. We'd watched engineers do it. So it was really just a matter of doing the test in a legitimate fashion, but also making it look good for television.
Because the early shows had no regular feature segments, we had the luxury of time in the road test to show details like the location of the spare tire, where to check the fluids, and also time to have a little fun. Whether it was a staffer popping out of a car trunk or two guys staging a Chinese fire drill, we always tried to entertain the audience and ourselves while showing each car's virtues and vices. Despite our early enthusiasm, though, the pace of the show soon became too slow, especially for younger viewers. In an 8-minute road test, we would use less than 25 edits. Now, for a 5-minute test, we use 3 times as many shots. Then in the 7th season, we moved out of the studio, streamlined our production, and added the FYI and high road features to every show. We've been proud to witness several automotive milestones along the way. The first Chrysler minivan in 1984 forever changed family transportation. AMC Jeep's 1984 4-door Cherokee and Woody Wagoneer were the first midsize vehicles to blur the line between cars and trucks. But it was the huge popularity of Ford's Explorer in the early 90s that fueled the SUV phenomenon. Chevrolet's Corvette ZR1 fulfilled our desire for an American performance icon. The Acura Legend and Toyota T100 proved that no market segment was safe for complacent designs. And recently, the Honda Insight and Toyota Prius have shown us that green motoring is possible without compromise. As the cars have become more sophisticated, so too has Motorweek evolved to keep pace. But the same concept from 25 years ago still works today. For us, the cars are still the stars.
You might be a Motorweek test driver. If you can do a one-arm push-up while wearing a blazer, if you think having helmet head makes for a good hair day, if you've ever hit 100 miles per hour in a Jaguar while standing still, if the nicest suit you own is made of fireproof Nomex, if your idea of two-wheel drive looks like this, you might be a Motorweek test driver.
Pat, you know, here on your Goss's Garage set, you realize in 25 years we've gone through 3 different Goss's Garage sets, and you've appeared in over 650 segments. Now, that's a lot of car care.
Well, it sure is. And to think about it, that it almost didn't happen. In the pilot show, Craig was the mechanic, and it was called Motor Shop. Now, if things had worked out differently, maybe I'd been doing the high road segment and driving the Wienermobile instead of Craig.
Oh, I think everyone is happy it worked out just the way it did. But you know, still, things have changed a lot in 25 years.
Oh, they sure have. What's really amazing is how far technology has progressed. Back in 1981, we didn't have computers in our offices, much less in our cars. Looking back at some of those early shows, it's shocking just how crude cars were in the early 80s, and how much we take for granted today. Take brakes, for instance. ABS was virtually unheard of. We were impressed then when a car had 4-wheel discs. A good stopping distance on the test track was some 30 feet longer than today's average. That's about the length of 2 big SUVs, and was usually accompanied by copious amounts of tire smoke. While radial tires were by then universally accepted, they were also universally mediocre in performance. Exotic cars like Ferrari and Porsche wore rubber unsuited for today's econoboxes. 13-inch wheels were the norm, while 15s were a big deal. That's a far cry from today's 22-inch monsters. A luxury car was anything with leather seats and power windows, or better yet, cruise control. A cassette deck was considered state-of-the-art. Navigation required a passenger and a map, and dual-zone climate controls, well, that meant you opened both front windows. The typical car came equipped with a 3-speed automatic or maybe a 4-speed manual transmission. Who would have thought that 5 and 6 ratio gearboxes would become the norm, and that anybody would ever need 7 gears? The CVT transmission came and went with the Subaru Justy in the early 90s, but is back and now better than ever in mainstream cars from Saturn, Ford, Audi, Nissan, and others. And if you wanted an all-wheel drive car in 1981, you had to shop for an Audi or a Subaru. Now there are at least 20 manufacturers offering the all-wheel drive advantage. Yes, indeed, John, we take many things for granted these days that were dismissed as science fiction 25 years ago. Active suspensions, navigation systems, tune-ups every 100,000 miles. But there's one thing that auto engineers haven't been able to do away with, despite all the computers and sensors and billions of development dollars, and that is simple preventive maintenance. I said it in our very first show, and it still holds true today.
The one single thing that is most important as far as the life expectancy of your automobile's engine is changing the oil.
Hey, Jesse. I see you're going through spy photos again. You know, using spy photos on Motorweek goes back to the earliest days of the series. Are they getting any easier to interpret?
Actually, John, the disguises are getting even better, but it's still fun to go through and try to figure out what's underneath of all that camouflage. Not that it's ever easy. Car makers will go to a lot of trouble to keep their latest designs a secret until they're ready for production. But we want our viewers to know what's coming as early as possible, so we turn to our spy photographers. These masters of automotive espionage will spend hours staking out proving ground entrances, R&D studios, and such testing hotspots as Death Valley, California.
Hey, wait a minute, Jesse. If you want the inside story on spy photographers, you need to do what I did and go straight to the source, our old pal, Jim Dunn.
It's good. Let's go.
On a recent trip to Detroit, we had the chance to spend some time with top spy photographer Jim Dunn. And it didn't take long to discover that he loves his craft.
See that truck coming out of there? It's a 1993 Ford Ranger. And it's difficult to get a good shot of a truck that has a bra on the front like that.
This is a photograph of an actual car that was, the back window was painted white to disguise, it was full of disguises. And it had black paint here to indicate an air scoop, and then there were black stripes here on the hood. In other words, they wanted to, if anybody saw the car, they wouldn't know what the final car looked like. So I take it back to my artist, and number one, I say, get rid of the background because I don't want the auto companies to know where I take the pictures.
Are you fairly well known amongst the car companies?
I'm more well known than I'd like to be because at least two of the auto companies have photographs of me that they posted around in different gates and different parts of the factory. It's almost like a wanted poster. If you see this man, call us, reward.
You know, Lisa, now that you work for Chrysler, I bet you're on the lookout for Jim for a whole different reason.
And I doubt I'll ever catch him.
Oh God, where is this going to end up? Get along, little doggy.
When we left the 2005... Did you?
Here we go. This is 6, I believe. This is 6. Close as a safety. Okay.
When we left the 2005 Frankfurt Motor Show, we knew we'd be back to show you more of the potentially...
Crazy. Get crazy. Get crazy. Here we go. Number 5 or 6 or something like that. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
We knew we'd be back to show you some of the offerings from the new potential.
All right, go. If I don't get this one, we're just done.
We knew we'd be back to show you some of the newest offerings from the potential new...
Here we go. It's cut number 8. 3, 2, 1.
We knew we'd be back to show you more of the potential new offerings. We knew we'd be, can I say that? Potential new? No, I can't say that.
And there you go. This weekend pounded.
We knew we'd be back to bring you more from the newest potential. I had it right.
Here we go. Number 9, 3, 2, 1. And there you go. This weekend packed more tire shredding, rock crawling, and pavement pounding into a 2-day period than I think any we're done.
Hey, heading to the airport. Yeah, running late. Oh, I should be there in a little bit. Right, it's been a busy day.
Hold up.
Hey, John.
Oh, I'm glad I caught you.
Okay.
Here's the latest script. A few minor changes, otherwise looks great.
Good.
And you know, in the 2 years you've been with us, you've become quite the world traveler.
Trying to keep up with you.
I know you got a plane to catch.
I do.
Before you do, your editor wants to see you, so stop by just for a minute.
Okay, we'll do.
Have a good trip.
All right, thanks. I just know it. This is going to snowball into an all-day affair.
Renette!
Hi, Thunder.
Where are the tapes for your story next week?
Oh, I don't know. Ask Ben.
Well, it's a good thing I like her. I tell you, Motorweek.
Hey, I'm gonna come here. I want to show you something. I think this is really cool.
Okay.
Watch, watch it. Come from here.
I always say that Lincoln is a company that.
Now let me know if you think this will work.
You got it. Keep dancing. Do your thing. Thank you, Taylor. Where are my keys? Oh my goodness. I think this is a tape Thunder needed. Hey, Ben. Thunder needs to see you now.
Whoa, Antoinette. Can you take a look at this and let me know what you think?
Okay, just running out the door, but oh my gosh, everything is spelled correctly. That's why you are the best art director in town. Thank you.
Hey.
All right.
Excellent. We
Okay.
aim to please.
Oh, you do.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
All right.
Antoinette, you're needed in the sound studio, please. Antoinette to the sound studio.
Oh, what now? Hey, Dave.
Hey, Antoinette. This will not take long, promise you. We'll get you out of here.
All right, good.
All right, guys, we're all set.
It's that attention to detail that gives this car so much prestige, and I love living the good life if only for a day. How is that?
Needs more energy.
More energy. Give us more.
Take 7. 3, 2, 1. It's that attention to detail that gives this
Whoa,
car...
you dropped the start. Let's make it a little slower at the beginning. Bring it to an end. I want to feel it. Passion.
Take 12. And I love living the good life if only for a day.
We're still not feeling that.
Not feeling
Give us a little more drive.
All right, breathe. Take 20. And I love living the good life if only for a day. Okay.
Passion, Antoinette. Passion. Passion.
Passion.
Take 39.
I can't work like this. They expect miracles.
Man, that was brutal. Passion. Oh, you need more passion.
Sounds good? Cool, cool. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
That press event we've been waiting on to the Arctic Circle,
Uh-huh.
it's finally come in. We have to send someone on this.
Glad it's not me. Let's make this easy. Heads Antoinette, tails Henry. AQ it is.
This is pretty short notice. Who's going to tell her?
You're the producer.
You're the senior producer. Besides, how cold can it really be at the Arctic Circle this time of year?
Isn't it their warm season?
Hey, Christina. Oh, okay, thanks.
Hey,
What's up, guys?
slight change in plan.
What?
From New York to the Arctic Circle, an ice driving segment.
Isn't that the North Pole? Isn't it freezing there?
I'm not going to see reindeer or anything.
AQ.
Hey, Henry.
What's going on?
Running out the door.
Oh, nice. Heard you're going to the Arctic Circle?
Oh, I see news travels fast.
Yeah, Monaco for a convertible road test. Have fun in the cold.
Oh, that is just so wrong.
Who writes this crap? Hey, Antoinette, can you give me a call when you get to New York? We need to nail down the outline on your next segment.
Are you going to be in a good mood?
I'll think about it.
Whew, I'm finally out of here. Nothing can stop me now. The cool thing about this job, you get to work with a lot of talented people, go to faraway places, but the best part are the cars. Really cool cars. The cars are really the stars.
Hey, where are you going there, Speedy?
Getting ready to drive this to the airport.
Actually, we're taking it to the track today for some testing.
Wait a minute, but I haven't driven this.
Sorry, we got testing to do.
And when am I supposed to drive?
Looks like the Winnebago is all yours.
The Winnebago?
Hey,
Oh,
don't forget, gray water after black water.
New York. Hey, Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna.
Hello? Hey!
What are you doing back there?
I'm just working. You know how it is. Everybody always wants something. I had to go somewhere. Where are you going?
Going to New York, and then I've got to go to the Arctic Circle.
New York? Going to New York?
Yeah, and?
Road trip?
But I got a flight to catch. What am I going to do?
Bag it. We got shopping to do.
Oh my gosh. You got credit cards?
I always got plastic.
Oh, the fun never ends here at Motorweek. But just wait until I get back. I'm going to strangle those producers.
Literally, my very first high road segment was a 1917 Packard truck called the Wingfoot Express. It was an old restored vehicle that was part of the Great American Race. And I was invited to ride along with the vehicle for a segment, about 150, 200 miles. I didn't realize it was a two-seat vehicle with two passengers. I rode in the back of the vehicle in the bed. Yeah, when I say I was taking the high road, believe me, I took it with me. It covered me for that point.
Well, you've seen where we've been and how we got there. Over the past 25 years, we have had an insider's perspective as we patiently waited for that car of the future to arrive. We've highlighted all of the small but important breakthroughs and witnessed some fantastic failures. So now it's time to look at the lessons learned and at the same time peer into that crystal ball at our driving future.
We've certainly seen glimpses of the car of the future in our tests over the years, and we've applauded each effort regardless of the outcome. The Bricklin safety car answered a question nobody was asking. And the DeLorean made more sense as a Back to the Future movie car than it ever did in reality. The Electro-Vet may have gotten a better reception had it been a Corvette instead of a Chevette. And imagine filling up this turbine-powered car at your local coal station. Looking at the car scene in 1981, it would have been easy to predict that the car of the future would be small, front-wheel drive, maybe a hatchback, and more likely than not, powered by cheap diesel fuel. Unfortunately for car enthusiasts, performance took a backseat to economy in the early 1980s. This 1983 Trans Am covered our quarter-mile test in 17.1 seconds. That's 1 second slower than a 2005 Kia Spectra. Still recovering from the gas crisis of the 70s and uncertain about our energy future, American drivers were also willing to let patriotism take a back seat in their search for efficient transportation. Import brands like Toyota, Nissan, and Honda couldn't build them fast enough to meet demand.
But Detroit isn't completely going to hell in a Honda, not yet anyway. Some cars are doing just fine. Thank you very much.
American brands fought back. The humble Chevrolet Chevette was the best-selling small car in the land in the fall of '82, and the Ford Escort was also selling like hotcakes. And let's not forget about safety innovations. While none of us mourn the death of automatic seatbelts, technologies like ABS brakes, accident avoidance, and smart airbags will make all cars safer to drive now and forever. And now, with gas prices again spiraling upward and our energy security by no means assured, we are once again looking at efficient technology and alternative fuels to provide guilt-free motoring without giving up the excitement of driving. That elusive car of the future may in fact look very similar to what we're driving now. Modern crossover designs strike a good balance between utility, agility, and livability, while providing a suitable platform for packaging a variety of drivetrains. We do think diesel power will make a strong comeback in the 21st century, thanks to clean fuels and low emissions technologies. For the near term, gas or diesel hybrids seem the most practical means of providing efficient motoring. 200-mile-per-gallon carburetors are no closer to reality now than they were in 1982. But down the road, we expect breakthroughs in battery and fuel cell technology to provide a more permanent energy solution. And just as innovation has rescued the auto industry before, it will even save the internal combustion engine. With computer controls, variable timing, cylinder deactivation, and low-friction coatings, proving you can indeed teach an old dog new tricks. The future won't happen overnight, but it sure will be interesting, and we can't wait to see it.
25 years ago, people thought we were crazy to want to do a weekly television series about cars. But no other machine has stimulated man's imagination and passion as completely as the automobile. It's a love affair of body and mind that shows no signs of fading. It's been quite a ride. And on behalf of everyone here at Motorweek, thank you for sharing it with us. And we hope you'll stick around for the next 25 years.
To learn more about Motorweek, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org. Motorweek has been brought to you by the Stanley Works, makers of MaxLife 369 tripod illumination tools. Stanley is proud to support public television. Stanley, make something great. Information available at www.stanleyworks.com. And by Dunlop Tires. The search for true performance is part of our heritage. Dunlop is proud to present the Dunlop Drivers' Cup, where amateurs from around the world compete head-to-head in on- and off-road competitions. Information at dunloptires.com. And by Cars.com.
Let's say you're looking for a car. Cars.com can help. Research, locate, even contact a dealer. Cars.com. Find the right car for you.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.